Nail by Ian Jones and Andy Edwards. Episode 6, Derby Day. Saturday, 26th of September 1936. Nail is at a rugby match between his home village of Pontderw and local rivals Blaunwaun. Pontderw haven't won the annual Derby fixture for over 25 years. After the argument with Dai Slug in the pub last night, Nail doesn't feel like digging Mrs. Cooper's grave today. The Grange is as full as I've ever seen it. Must be 100 people here all told. I shouldn't be here really. Ought to be digging the grave. But I got up late and I don't feel much like doing it after what happened in the pub last night. Bloody Dai Slug and his nonsense. Dig the grave tomorrow. I'll have it finished before the morning service. I didn't leave the ship until the early hours. Eddie's not too bothered as long as we're still drinking. Door locked, curtains drawn, lights off and a few candles on the bar. I slept there all night once on a bench. Big game today. We've been playing Blaunwaun every year since 1899, the year I was born. Didn't play during the war, mind, but we don't count that. Some right battles over the years. They brought a few along with them today, all right, Di? They were all in the bell before the game, rum and whiskey going down well. Good idea. You need something to keep the cold out on a day like this. The sky is clear, but it's bitter for September. There's a cutting wind blowing across Picton Hill. Got my old fishing net round my neck for a scarf. Itches a bit, mind, but it does the job. And a black skull cap that Mrs. John knitted for me, pulled down over my ears. Teams arrive from the Memorial Hall. They've been getting changed. The pungent smell of horse liniment fills their nostrils as they march up Picton Hill. It's a good 200-yard walk, but at least it gets the legs warm. We haven't got the clubhouse, but there's some talk of taking over the old working men's club. We'll see. "Come on, blind!" someone shouts. "Give 'em what they deserve, just like every year." It gets a laugh from the Blaunwaun followers. We can't say much, it's true. We haven't beaten them since 1909. Long wait for local bragging rights. I'm standing here with Ernie the bus. It's his day off and he never misses a game. Played for Pontderw until he was 42. Good forward, Ernie. Strong, wiry, hard man. "If Blaunwaun can win this game, my meat whistle is a bloater," shouts Ernie from the touchline. The three old men in front of us turn round and chuckle. He's quick with a line, Ernie. The referee is Eirig book and pencil. He's the Bobby for Pontderw and for Blaunwaun, so he's an ideal official. Straight down the line. He strides onto the pitch and blows his whistle to call the captains to toss the coin. One of the blind supporters screams and winces in fear. Terrible thing shall shock. Never goes away for some veterans. Back in the trenches in a flash. I know how he feels. "Do," says Ernie. "We got a couple of big lads today. Kipper and his cousin make a formidable second row, and those Neath boys are a fair old size as well. Maybe today's the day, Nail. Maybe." The captain gets the boys into a tight circle and he shouts to them, "Right, boys, here we are. Now get stuck in. Let them know they're in a battle, boys. Take the fight to them. Stick together, boys, and stick it to them." The game kicks off and all those present instantly turn into one-eyed referee-hating rugby experts. "Offside, ref! Forward pass, man! Every time, referee! Knock on! Never, ref! You must be blind!" It's as if both sets of fans are watching different games. And after about 20 minutes, there's no score. Bryn is playing well, he's huge and very hard to bring to the floor. "We're in the game," says Ernie. He's a bigger fan than me, Ernie, and he's getting excited. The ball is kicked a touch and the teams form a line out in front of us. As the players jump for the ball, the Blaunwaun number 5 turns and punches Bryn full in the face as hard as he can. There's a groan from the crowd, and we wait for Bryn to react or to fall to the ground, but he doesn't. He looks the Blaunwaun player in the face. "Is that it?" he says. "Is that all you've got? My mother hits me harder than that." The crowd within earshot and the nearby players break into laughter. "You tell him, Bryn. Can I meet your mother, Bryn? Watch yourself, number 5, he's angry now." Eirig Book and Pencil steps in. "That's the last punch from you today, Gwyn Richards, you hear me?" Gwyn nods, and to be fair it was. Bryn mops the blood, which has been streaming from his nose with the sleeve of his jersey. I turn my head away. Ugh. The game is dour and attritional. Time is running out. 2 penalty goals each, and the tension is rising on the sidelines. "I tell you now," says Ernie, "we win this and I'm having a right session tonight. The Sunday school can forget their trip to the Gower tomorrow morning." With just a minute to go, Bryn makes a charge down the touchline. He's bundled into touch and lands just a couple of feet from the try line. Howard Deaf is running the line and raises his flag. "Blaunwaun ball." As he falls, Bryn lands on the ball and wins himself. The sponge man runs over and puts the sponge, full of freezing cold water, down the back of Bryn's neck. He always does that sometimes. "That won't help him," says Ernie. "Winded he is." After a minute or two, Bryn stands up. He's okay to carry on. "Whose throw?" says Eirig to Howard. Whose ball, Howard? Who's throwing in?" "Oh, aye." He raises his flag. "Pontderw ball," he says. "No, our ball, man," shouts the Blaunwaun captain. "Whose ball, Howard?" says Eirig again. Aye, Pontderw ball." The blind players and supporters are furious. "It's our ball, ref. He had his flag up for us." Eirig looks at Howard. "Bont ball," says Howard. If he could hear the abuse he was receiving, he may have been bothered, but he couldn't, so he wasn't. "Keep calm, lads, keep the faith and we'll be all right," says the Pontderw captain. I'm starting to find it a bit much now. There's too much tension, too much at stake. My mind is drifting. There's too much mud, too much blood, too much noise. I walk away from Ernie and stand on my own under the tree line. I take a slug of rum and I watch the final moments unfold. The throw is taken. Bryn catches it, passes it to Kipper, who crashes over in the corner. Try. 9-6 to Bont, with a conversion kick to come. The kick is missed, but the final whistle blows and the game is won. The Bont fans run out onto the pitch. They lift Bryn onto their shoulders, but after 5 yards they have to put him down again. He's too big, man. The scene is chaotic. The Blaunwaun players are surrounding Eirig, pointing and shouting. Eirig is unmoved. "What done is done," he says. "You're a cheat," says one. "Do you want to spend a night in the cells, good boy?" he says. "Well, mind your tongue then." Behind the goalposts, I can see Howard Deaf on his knees. He's been felled by a brolly blow to the back of the head and now is being given a damned good thrashing by 2 female, horn-rimmed, bespectacled blind supporters. "You're a bloody disgrace, Howard Deaf. Biggest cheat in the Ishmael Valley. Piece of dirt, you are." The blows from the brollies and the handbags rain down while they abuse him. Says Howard. Don't take it so serious, man. It's only a game. What you doing, man? If you don't like the score, you should go back to Blaunwaun. He struggles to his feet and runs out of the Grange and down Picton Hill with the two women chasing him, umbrellas drawn, ready for another thrashing. Edna Priest and Ella Prothero are watching the women chasing Howard. Oh, that's awful, says Mrs. Priest. Lovely man, Howard. You got your eye on him, Edna, says Mrs. Prothero. Never say never, Ella, never say never. I stand under the tree line at the edge of the wood as the merry throng heads off down Picton Hill, shouting and singing Calon Lan. The Blaunwaun boys have already gone for their cold shower, following Eirig and still complaining. Soon I'm alone. I turn and stare at the wood. A few leaves are falling. It's a bit early. I can smell the chimney smoke blowing up from Bulk Farm below the woods. I used to feel safe amongst the trees as a boy. I danced in the fairy clearings, ran from ogres and evil witches, sneaked past the big bad wolf, and crossed over the vicious troll bridge. Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge? A stick for a gun, a pine cone for a grenade. Bang, bang, you're dead. No, I'm not, I'm only injured. Bang, you're dead now, I shot you in the head.
Three little Tommies sent charging one day into the woods so far away. Snipers' guns went crack, 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 and only one little Tommy came back. La la la, la la la.
You all right, Neil? Says Bobby Bath. I shake my head. I'm scared, Bobby. We're sitting with our backs protected by the mound of earth between us and the gunfire. It's the beginnings of a trench that was started, but there was no time to finish. Our stretcher lies between us. We wait there, cowering in the mud and the water and the chalk. I look at Bobby, mouth closed and lips pursed, terror in his eyes. Griffey, our sergeant, is on my right. He's staring ahead, motionless, calm. Been here before. Hold steady, lads! We didn't dare move, frozen, frightened, dreadful. I looked down the line. Stevens, 432, retches with fear and catches the sick in his cup hands. Jenkins sobs like a child, maybe his child. As we wait, we can hear the first wave engaging the enemy. The noise is deafening. Machine guns, shells, grenades, the primal screams, the wails of the wounded men, the cries for mothers, the agony, the hell, the music of death and worse than death. We wait for the captain to blow his whistle. He looks at his watch, waits for the moment to start the carnage, waits for the moment to blow his trumpet of war. We wait. Keep calm, lads, keep the faith and we'll be all right, says Griffey again. We wait. When we played in the woods as kids, it was instant. There was no waiting. Let's play war, we'd say, and off we'd go. But these aren't the trivial bangs and kabooms of child's play. We wait. I open my eyes and stare at the trees. Oh, God. Time to go home. I walk slowly away from the woods across the grange and down the hill to my cottage. Don't think I'll go to the ship tonight.